Well, a cardinal rule, if you can execute it, is keep Sean Figgins off the bases, particularly when he leads off, and he is the leadoff man of the Angels. And he singled the left field to start the bottom half of the first inning against Kirk Saarloos tonight. Darren Erstad moved him over to third base after Figgins had stolen second. Erstad with a ground ball out to first. And Vladdy Guerrero, the big bomber in the lineup for the Angels, despite being 3 for his last 31, seems always to find a way to get something done. Here's Guerrero, the big right-handed batter, batting .320. He led the majors in hitting in June. Swings and hits it in the air down the right field line. Swisher coming in, about medium depth near the line, makes the catch. Figgins tags, coming home. Here's the throw. One hop, slide, two. Angels 1, the A's nothing. Then in the second inning, Steve Finley and Benji Molina opened with back-to-back singles, and it looked like trouble was afoot when Jeff DeVannen came up. Eric Chavez was playing him in at the edge of the grass, looking for the possibility of a bunt, which didn't eventuate. 2-1 to the crouching left-handed batter DeVannen. A swing and a line drive taken by Chavez, fired to first on the bounce. Double play!
What a play by Dan Johnson.
The ball was rifled to the left side, the off-field for DeVannen. Chavez made a mini leap for it to his left, had to hurry to throw, and it bounced, and Johnson made a great save, and Molina on a close play is called out. And as the evening wore on, Saarloos pitching effectively, hitting his spots rather well, still needed some help from his defense. Garrett Anderson, always a torturer of the A's, doubled with 1 out in the 4th inning and was waiting to come home on Finley's at bat, and it looked like he might.
And the 0-2 pitch is hit to right in the corner, long run, going back, Swisher at the track and makes a fine running catch, crashes into the wall, fires the ball back to second, and sliding back to second is Anderson. Outstanding play in right field by Nick Swisher.
The A's had runners in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, if you're wondering about their offense, but not much came of any of them. Chavez walked the lead off the 2nd, was stalled there when the inning ended. Swisher doubled the lead off the 3rd, but when the inning ended, he was only at third base. Chavez had a harmless 1-out single in the 4th, and Dan Johnson led off the 5th with a single. The A's never got a runner beyond 2nd. In the 6th inning, though, it looked as if perhaps Santana might have felt the pace a little bit when he walked Kotsay to start the inning, came back to strike out Crosby, but then walked Chavez. So the A's were going to get the opportunity, thinking, get ahead by the time you get to the end of 6 innings. Scott Hatterberg was the batter. Now the pitch. Swung, drilled to right field, hooking away from Guerrero. That's a base hit. It'll roll to the wall. Coming around with a tying run to score is Kotsay. Around, following to the plate, and scoring also is Chavez as the ball was mishandled on the throw-in. Nobody managed to corral it. It got by Kennedy, and the A's have taken the lead 2-1 on a Scott Hatterberg double here in the top of the 6th. But Santana showed he's made a pretty good stuff. He got the next 2 hitters, kept Hatterberg from getting home with that extra run, and at the end of 5 1/2, Saarloos had that much-coveted lead, but things began to spin out of control. Cardinal sin, walked Figgins to lead off the inning. Promptly, Figgins wound up stealing second base. Erstad hit a shot off the glove of Johnson at first base, scored as a base hit, put runners at first and third. Once again, Guerrero at the plate. Swung on, grounded to the left side. Taken there by Chavez, second for 1, that's all. Tying run scores, it's a 2-2 game. Guerrero drives in both runs so far tonight for the Angels. A slowly hit ball towards short, cutting in front. Chavez makes the play 5-4 to get Erstad while Figgins scores.
Good pitch, a sinker that ran in on Guerrero. Now he's 0 for 2 with a sac fly and 2 RBIs, but that's okay with the A's.
You're right. The troublesome Anderson then singled hard to center field. Guerrero raced to third. Kotsay came up throwing. Guerrero coming into third obscured the vision of Chavez. The ball scooted on by, allowing Anderson to go to second, and Kotsay was tagged with his first error of 2005. With first base open, Steve Finley got the intentional walk, and things were looking good when Benji Molina popped up on the first pitch for the 2nd out of the inning. Jeff DeVannen, who's had his share of struggles so far this year, had looked at a third strike in the previous inning, and DeVannen got 2 quick strikes on him, and then battling. Actually, Saarloos made a good pitch, but it didn't turn out his way. And the 0-2. A swing and a high chop. That's trouble. Waiting for it. Sarlos, bare hand, drops it, and the Angels lead. Holy Toledo. Sometimes you make a good pitch and it backfires on you. He got way on top of that sinker, chopped it off the plate, went high in the air. Sarlos knew he had only a prayer to barehand and throw with a fast runner, Devannon, and when he went to barehanded coming down, he couldn't hold it. Might not have gotten him anyway. 3-2 Angels. And that brought up Orlando Cabrera, and maybe Sarlos, in a bit of frustration, lost his concentration, hung a pitch, and that was costly. Anderson at third, Finley at second, Devannon at first. Line drive, base hit to center. Here comes one run home. Cote comes up throwing, and the play at the plate. Safe! The ball goes on by, backing up to Sarlos, and the runners move to second and third. 2 more Angel runs, and it is 5-2 Anaheim. Well, that was all the runs they needed as it turned out. Ricardo Rincon, Jay Vitasic, and Keiji Yabu combined to set down the 7 batters the Angels sent up next through that inning, the 7th and the 8th. But the A's had little chance to do much either as they began to be strangled by that bullpen of the Angels after Santana protected the lead with a 1-2-3 7th and finished the night at 96 pitches. Shields gave up a harmless walk with 1 out in the 8th. And when the powerhouse closer, Frankie Rodriguez, came on, and Kelty got an infield hit off Pickens at third base, Frankie proceeded to strike out Johnson, strike out Swisher, and Scudero was lifted for the pinch hitter, Adam Melhuse, but he, too, was no match. 2-2 on the way. Check swing. He's gone! And Melhuse protesting to Angel Hernandez, who said, "You swung. It's all over." And the Angels have taken the first game of the series as the Athletics, starting a week-long trip through the West in Anaheim and Texas, take the short end of it tonight on the strength of a 4-run 6th inning by the Angels. Final score, Angels 5 and the A's 2. And Ken will be back with the scoreboard report right after